What if humanity's greatest achievements weren't entirely our own? Imagine for a moment that the technological breakthroughs defining our world, our ability to harness electricity, navigate the stars, and construct wonders that defy time, weren't simply the result of human brilliance. What if these advances were part of a plan, seeded in our distant past by beings not of this earth? In the cradles of civilization, the ancient Sumerians spoke of the Annunaki, figures who descended from the heavens with knowledge far beyond human comprehension. Were these celestial beings mythological deities, or could they have been something more extraordinary? Some suggest they were extraterrestrial visitors, bearers of a wisdom so advanced that it reshaped the course of humanity forever. Now take a closer look at their legacy. Ancient carvings of beings holding objects that resemble modern tools, texts describing precision engineering techniques we struggle to replicate today, and star maps charted with astonishing accuracy long before the invention of telescopes. How could such profound knowledge have existed thousands of years ago? Did humanity stumble upon this brilliance by chance, or was it handed to us? This video invites you to question everything you think you know about human history. Could the Anunnaki have orchestrated the rise of civilizations, guiding us from the shadows of time? Could they be the silent architects of the technology we rely on today? And if so, what does that mean for our future? As we unravel the evidence, myth, and speculation surrounding the Anunnaki, prepare to confront a possibility that is as thrilling as it is unsettling: that humanity's journey has been shaped by forces we are only beginning to comprehend. Let's uncover the truth. The name Anunnaki translates to those who came from the heavens to earth. It's an origin story that sounds almost like science fiction, but what if it's not fiction at all? In the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, a civilization that seemingly emerged out of nowhere around 3100 BCE, the Sumerians claimed they didn't build their society alone. They credited their rapid advancements to the Anunnaki, divine beings who descended from the skies. But were these divine figures truly gods, or were they something far more tangible and far more advanced? Let's examine the evidence. First, consider the Sumerian star maps, which date back over 5,000 years. These ancient records depict the planets of our solar system with startling accuracy, including details that modern astronomers didn't confirm until the invention of telescopes. How could a civilization with no known tools capable of astronomical observation possess such precise knowledge? Some researchers argue that the Sumerians must have received this information from a source far beyond their natural environment, perhaps even from beyond our planet. The Anunnaki, described as descending from the heavens, might well fit this description. Then there are the artifacts. Ancient Sumerian carvings and cylinder seals depict figures often towering over humans, wearing what appear to be mechanical devices or suits, and holding objects that resemble modern technological tools. Look closely at some of these artifacts. One figure holds a rod with intricate details that some have likened to a modern antenna or energy conductor. Another shows what looks like a wristwatch-like device. And then there are depictions of what some interpret as flying crafts, rounded objects emitting streams that could easily be mistaken for propulsion systems. These are not the artistic conventions of a primitive people inventing stories for amusement. They are detailed and deliberate. Could they have been documenting encounters with beings who possessed a level of technology unimaginable at the time? And then there's the architecture. The Sumerians built ziggurats, step temples that stretch toward the heavens, using techniques that baffle modern engineers. The precision of their construction, the alignment with celestial bodies, and the sheer scale of these structures suggest knowledge that far exceeded the tools and understanding of their era. Is it possible the Anunnaki provided not just the inspiration, but the technological know-how to create these architectural marvels? Critics dismiss these claims as mere myth, arguing that the Anunnaki were symbolic representations of natural forces or human imagination. But let's not forget the curious parallels that emerge when comparing Sumerian myths to similar stories across the globe. From the sky gods of ancient Egypt to the feathered serpents of Mesoamerica, civilizations separated by vast oceans share strikingly similar narratives of beings who came from the stars to teach humanity. Could this global consistency hint at a shared origin, an ancient extraterrestrial presence that visited multiple cultures, leaving its mark on human history? And what about the motives of these beings? According to the Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki didn't just interact with humans, they supposedly created them. One of the most compelling and controversial interpretations of the Sumerian creation myth is that the Anunnaki engineered humanity through genetic manipulation. The texts describe the Anunnaki fashioning humans out of clay, but what if clay is a metaphor? Some theorists suggest this could represent genetic material, and that the Anunnaki's intervention was an intentional act to create a workforce for their needs. Could this explain the sudden and dramatic leap in human evolution, the missing link that puzzles evolutionary biologists? Still not convinced? Consider this. The Sumerians themselves didn't claim credit for their accomplishments. They openly stated that their knowledge of agriculture, mathematics, governance, and even writing came directly from the Anunnaki. Why would a civilization so advanced in so many respects attribute their success to beings from the heavens unless they genuinely believed it to be true? Finally, let's address the possibility that the Anunnaki didn't just visit Earth in the distant past, but might still be influencing us today. Some researchers speculate that traces of Anunnaki knowledge have been preserved through secret societies, ancient manuscripts, and hidden artifacts. Could the technological leaps of the past century, unprecedented in the scope of human history, be the result of rediscovering this ancient wisdom? Are we unknowingly continuing the work of the Anunnaki, guided by a legacy that has been buried under layers of myth and forgotten history? The evidence is tantalizing, and the questions are too profound to ignore. The Sumerians didn't just create stories, they left behind an intricate tapestry of knowledge, culture, and mystery. Could the Anunnaki have been real? Were they the architects of human civilization, sharing their wisdom and technology to guide us forward? Or were they something else entirely, with motives and intentions that remain hidden? As we unravel the secrets of the Anunnaki, we must confront an unsettling possibility, that the history we've been taught is only part of the story. Could the answers to humanity's greatest mysteries lie in the heavens, or buried beneath the sands of Mesopotamia? Let's continue digging deeper. The accomplishments of the ancient Sumerians stand as monuments to a civilization far ahead of its time. But when examined closely, these achievements reveal anomalies, indicators of knowledge and capabilities that seem impossibly advanced for the era. Could these anomalies be the fingerprints of the Anunnaki, traces of an influence that elevated humanity far beyond its natural progression? Let's start with the architectural marvels. The ziggurats of Mesopotamia, towering step structures built thousands of years ago, display an extraordinary understanding of engineering and design. These massive temples were constructed with such precision that they aligned perfectly with celestial bodies, a feat that would require advanced mathematical calculations and an intimate knowledge of astronomy. How did a civilization with no evidence of advanced tools or machinery achieve such architectural mastery? Could they have been guided by the Anunnaki, beings described as descending from the skies, perhaps bringing with them technologies or techniques beyond the capabilities of the time? Consider also the Sumerians' profound understanding of astronomy. They not only identified the planets in our solar system, but depicted them with remarkable accuracy in ancient texts and carvings. One of the most intriguing examples is a Sumerian cylinder seal, often referred to as the solar system seal, which shows the sun surrounded by planets, including some that were not officially discovered until modern times. How could an ancient people, without telescopes or satellites, have known about these celestial bodies? Could this knowledge have been handed down to them by the Anunnaki, beings they described as from the heavens? Artifacts further deepen the mystery. The Baghdad battery, for example, is a small clay jar found in Mesopotamia that some researchers believe could have been used as a primitive electrical device. While traditional explanations suggest it might have been used for simple electroplating, others question why a civilization would develop such technology if it served no apparent purpose within their cultural or technological framework. Could this device be evidence of knowledge imparted by the Anunnaki, perhaps a small glimpse of the advanced technologies they possessed? Then there are the Sumerians' innovations in mathematics. They developed a base 60 numeral system still used today to measure time and angles, and their calculations exhibit a sophistication that seems far ahead of its time. Their ability to solve complex mathematical problems raises the question, was this the result of human ingenuity alone, or was it influenced by an external source? Their myths credit the Anunnaki with teaching them these skills, a claim that becomes harder to dismiss when faced with the scope of their advancements. Finally, let's consider the artifacts and carvings depicting the Anunnaki themselves. These figures are often shown wielding objects that resemble modern tools or devices, cylindrical rods, intricate wristbands, and what some interpret as breathing apparatuses. In one particularly compelling image, a figure is shown inside a winged disc, a design that has led some to suggest it represents an ancient flying craft. Are these merely artistic symbols, or do they depict technologies that ancient humans couldn't fully comprehend and therefore immortalized in their art? The anomalies don't stop at physical evidence. The Sumerians' myths and written accounts themselves are filled with references to technologies and knowledge that seem impossible for the time. From their descriptions of the Anunnaki's journeys between heaven and earth, to their detailed accounts of how these beings taught them to live, the consistency of these stories is remarkable. Could they be recounting real events, events that modern science and archaeology have yet to fully understand? Skeptics argue that such theories stretch the imagination too far, attributing human achievements to extraterrestrial beings without concrete proof. Yet the gaps in the historical record, the inexplicable precision of Sumerian advancements, and the persistent mythological themes shared across ancient cultures make it difficult to dismiss the possibility outright. What if the Anunnaki's legacy isn't just a myth but a hidden chapter in human history, one waiting to be uncovered? If the Anunnaki truly played a role in shaping humanity's early civilizations, their influence may extend further than we realize. Could they have left behind knowledge that continues to shape our world in ways we're only beginning to understand? Let's push further into this mystery and explore their most profound act, the creation of humanity itself. At the heart of the Sumerian myths lies an extraordinary claim: humanity itself was created by the Anunnaki. According to ancient texts, like the Enuma Elish and the Atrahasis epic, the Anunnaki, weary from their labor on Earth, engineered humans to serve as workers, beings tasked with mining resources and performing tasks deemed too burdensome for the gods themselves. But is this story just a metaphor? Or could it be an ancient record of something far more profound? Could the Anunnaki have been genetic engineers, capable of manipulating life on a molecular level? And is there evidence of their handiwork embedded in our DNA? The Sumerians' creation story is uniquely specific. It describes the Anunnaki combining their own essence with the clay of the earth to create a new species. At first glance, this may seem like poetic imagery, but some researchers believe it is a veiled description of genetic manipulation. Modern science has revealed that clay, rich in minerals, can act as a catalyst for biochemical reactions, potentially supporting the development of early life. Could the clay in these myths refer not to dirt, but to genetic material, DNA? And what of the Anunnaki's essence? Was this their own genetic code, spliced into early human ancestors to create a hybrid species? This theory gains traction when we consider the sudden and dramatic leap in human evolution roughly 40,000 years ago, often referred to as the Great Leap Forward. Before this point, early humans had shown only incremental changes in behavior and technology. Then, seemingly overnight in evolutionary terms, we developed advanced tools, complex language, art, and abstract thinking. Mainstream science attributes this to natural selection, but the timeline is puzzlingly abrupt. Could this leap be evidence of external intervention, an upgrade to the human genome? The Sumerians themselves hinted at this possibility. They didn't claim their advancements as their own. Instead, they attributed their knowledge of agriculture, astronomy, writing, and governance to the Anunnaki. These beings, described as possessing godlike intellect and power, were said to have shared their wisdom with humanity. But if the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial visitors with advanced technology, could they have also engineered humans to be capable of utilizing that knowledge? Evidence for such intervention might lie in the anomalies of human DNA. Geneticists have discovered segments of our genome that seem oddly out of place, sequences that don't appear to fit the expected pattern of evolution. Known colloquially as junk DNA, these sections have no known function, yet they account for more than 98% of our genome. Could this junk hold the remnants of ancient genetic manipulation, the fingerprints of the Anunnaki's experimentation? Some theorists suggest that these sequences could be dormant codes, fragments of an ancient blueprint designed for purposes we have yet to uncover. Adding weight to this theory are the physical depictions of hybrid beings found in Sumerian art and mythology. Statues and carvings often show figures that are part human, part animal, or even entirely otherworldly. Winged humans, fish-like deities, and creatures with elongated skulls and large eyes are all recurring motifs. Could these represent the results of genetic experimentation? Were these beings prototypes, failed or alternative creations in the Anunnaki's quest to engineer the perfect species? Let's also consider the elongated skulls found in archaeological digs across regions once inhabited by the Sumerians and their neighbors. While many archaeologists attribute these skulls to cranial binding, a practice used by ancient cultures to alter the shape of the skull, others argue that the extreme elongation seen in some specimens cannot be explained by human practices alone. Could these skulls belong to beings genetically distinct from modern humans? And if so, might they represent a hybrid species created by the Anunnaki? The myths suggest that the Anunnaki's motives were not altruistic. According to the Atrahasis epic, humans were created to alleviate the gods' labor. The Anunnaki needed a workforce to mine resources, specifically gold, which some theorists believe they required for technological or environmental purposes. This paints a darker picture of our origins, humanity as a utilitarian creation, valued not for its potential, but for its utility. Were we simply a means to an end, abandoned when we were no longer needed? Yet, the Anunnaki's intervention may not have been limited to our physical creation. The texts hint at repeated interference in human affairs, suggesting that the Anunnaki continued to guide or control human development even after creating us. Some stories describe the Anunnaki teaching humans the secrets of agriculture, mathematics, and astronomy. Others suggest they manipulated the social and political structures of early civilizations, installing kings and priests who acted as intermediaries between gods and humans. Were these acts of benevolence, or were they calculated moves to ensure humanity remains subservient to its creators? Finally, the question arises, is their influence still with us today? Could the rapid technological advancements of the last century be connected to ancient knowledge left behind by the Anunnaki? Some theorists suggest that remnants of their technology or teachings may have been rediscovered in hidden archives or passed down through secret societies. If humanity was engineered as a species with untapped potential, could the Anunnaki's influence still be steering us toward an unknown destiny? The implications of this theory are staggering. If the Anunnaki truly created humanity, it would redefine not only our history, but also our understanding of what it means to be human. Are we a species born of the Earth, or are we the product of a cosmic experiment? And if the latter is true, what does it say about our purpose and our future? As we move forward, we'll explore how the Anunnaki's alleged influence extends beyond our biology into the technologies and systems that define modern life. Could their fingerprints still be found in the innovations shaping our world today? Let's uncover the evidence. If the Anunnaki truly existed and shared their knowledge with humanity, their technological fingerprints may still be present in our modern world. Many of humanity's greatest inventors, Individuals like Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, and Thomas Edison appear to have developed technologies that eerily mirror descriptions of Anunnaki innovations found in ancient texts. Could these visionaries have been rediscovering ancient extraterrestrial knowledge, intentionally or otherwise? Let's take a closer look at how specific inventions align with the legacy of the Anunnaki. Nikola Tesla, hailed as one of the most brilliant minds in history, was responsible for groundbreaking advancements in electricity, energy transmission, and communication. His most ambitious project, creating wireless energy, was designed to transmit power across vast distances without wires, a concept that still baffles scientists today. But what if Tesla wasn't inventing something entirely new? Ancient Sumerian texts described the Anunnaki using tools that emitted beams of energy to power their celestial chariots and manipulate matter with precision. The parallels between Tesla's wireless energy system and these ancient accounts are striking. Tesla himself hinted at a mysterious source of his ideas, stating, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration." Was Tesla unconsciously tapping into a reservoir of knowledge left behind by the Anunnaki? The resemblance between his work and the energy-based technologies described in Sumerian texts suggests a connection too profound to ignore. Leonardo da Vinci's genius extended far beyond art. His notebooks are filled with designs for machines and technologies that seem impossibly advanced for his time. Among these designs is the aerial screw, a precursor to the modern helicopter. Ancient Sumerian carvings depict the Anunnaki descending from the heavens in what they called celestial chariots, vehicles capable of vertical takeoff and flight. Could Da Vinci's vision of human flight have been inspired by these ancient accounts? Da Vinci also created mechanical automata, intricate machines designed to mimic human motion. Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki creating beings to serve their needs, artificial life forms that carried out specific tasks. Was Da Vinci, like Tesla, rediscovering fragments of Anunnaki knowledge preserved in the subconscious mind of humanity? Thomas Edison's inventions revolutionized the modern world, yet his own words suggest his creativity was guided by something beyond himself. Edison once remarked, "The greatest inventions were inspired by unseen forces." The Anunnaki were said to possess glowing orbs and tools that emitted radiant energy, described in ancient texts as sources of light and power. Edison's invention of the electric light bulb mirrors these descriptions with uncanny accuracy. Could Edison have been channeling knowledge from the Anunnaki, rediscovering their methods of harnessing and controlling light? The Baghdad battery offers even more tangible evidence of advanced ancient knowledge. Found near Mesopotamian ruins, this 2,000-year-old artifact consists of a clay jar containing an iron rod and copper cylinder, capable of generating an electric charge. While traditional theories suggest it was used for electroplating, others argue it could have been a rudimentary power source. Ancient Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki's tools as powered by mysterious energy sources. Could the Baghdad battery represent a fragment of this lost technology, a clue to the advanced energy systems used by the Anunnaki? The parallels between the ancient artifact and descriptions of Anunnaki tools are difficult to dismiss. The Anunnaki's knowledge of astronomy also draws a direct line to modern advancements. Sumerian star maps accurately depicted planets and celestial phenomena long before telescopes existed. Their knowledge of Uranus and Neptune, planets invisible to the naked eye, raises an important question. How did they know? Modern astronomers like Carl Sagan have dedicated their lives to understanding the cosmos, but could their work too have roots in the Anunnaki's celestial teachings? If the Anunnaki truly traveled the stars, their influence may still guide humanity's exploration of the universe. The Anunnaki weren't just described as creators of tools and technologies, they were creators of life. According to Sumerian texts, they engineered humanity itself, designing intelligent beings to serve specific purposes. Today, we are on the brink of creating our own intelligent beings through artificial intelligence. The parallels are striking. Just as the Anunnaki sought to create beings to fulfill their needs, humanity now builds robots and AI systems to perform tasks beyond human capability. Pioneers like John von Neumann, whose work formed the foundation of computing and AI, may have unknowingly followed a blueprint established by the Anunnaki. Could our quest to create intelligent machines be driven by an ancient legacy left in our DNA, a subconscious echo of the Anunnaki's methods? These examples suggest that the Anunnaki's influence may be interwoven into the fabric of human innovation. Tesla's wireless energy, Da Vinci's flying machines, Edison's electric light, and the Baghdad battery each mirrors technologies described in ancient texts. Are these parallels mere coincidence, or is humanity rediscovering a legacy left behind by our ancient creators? If the Anunnaki truly shared their knowledge with humanity, their impact is far greater than we've been led to believe. Could their innovations still shape our future, guiding us toward a destiny that began thousands of years ago? Could the truth about the Anunnaki, their existence, influence, and technological legacy, be hidden from humanity? Throughout history, there have been whispers of suppressed knowledge, forbidden discoveries, and artifacts kept far from public view. If the Anunnaki truly played a role in shaping human civilization, the implications would shake the very foundations of what we believe about our past, our present, and our place in the cosmos. Is it possible that powerful entities have a vested interest in keeping this knowledge buried? Consider the countless artifacts and structures that defy conventional explanation. Ancient texts describing celestial beings and advanced technologies are often dismissed as myth or allegory. But what if they're not? What if these accounts are factual records, encoded by ancient civilizations to preserve a truth so extraordinary it had to be hidden in plain sight? The Sumerians themselves credited their rapid advancements in agriculture, architecture, and governance to the Anunnaki. Were their records erased or obscured over time because of what they reveal? Many theorists argue that governments, religious institutions, and powerful organizations have deliberately suppressed evidence of the Anunnaki. Why? Because confirming extraterrestrial involvement in human history would upend the narratives that underpin global power structures. Think about it. The discovery of an advanced alien presence in our history would challenge religious doctrines, rewrite historical timelines, and undermine faith in established institutions. This revelation could destabilize control mechanisms that have been in place for centuries. Is it so hard to imagine that those in power would go to great lengths to keep this knowledge hidden? There are stories, consistent, persistent stories, about discoveries that have been covered up. Allegedly, artifacts containing star maps, advanced technology, and even instructions for harnessing energy have been unearthed in ancient Mesopotamian sites. Yet, instead of being studied and shared with the world, these discoveries are said to vanish, spirited away into private collections or secret government archives. What might these artifacts reveal if they were made public? Could they provide irrefutable proof of the Anunnaki's influence and their gifts of technology to humanity? And if so, why are we being denied access to them? The accounts of whistleblowers add fuel to this fire. Over the years, former military personnel, intelligence officers, and scientists have come forward with startling claims. They speak of classified projects involving extraterrestrial technology, secret excavations of ancient sites, and the suppression of groundbreaking discoveries. Many describe artifacts and technologies far beyond our current capabilities, devices that sound remarkably similar to the tools and machines described in Sumerian texts. While skeptics may question the validity of these claims, the consistency across these testimonies suggests that there is more to the story than the official narratives admit. But it's not just about what has been hidden, it's about why. Imagine what the world would look like if the Anunnaki's technologies were fully understood and made available. Free energy systems could eliminate reliance on fossil fuels. Advanced propulsion technology could revolutionize transportation and space exploration. Breakthroughs in genetic engineering might cure diseases or even extend human life. Yet these possibilities would also disrupt the global economy and dismantle the power held by energy companies, pharmaceutical giants, and governments. Could the suppression of the Anunnaki's legacy be about preserving control and protecting vested interests? Mainstream academia, too, plays a role in this suppression. Artifacts like the Baghdad Battery or ancient depictions of flying machines are often dismissed as coincidences or primitive attempts at symbolism. But what if they're not? What if they're fragments of a larger puzzle, a puzzle that points directly to the Anunnaki's role in human history? Why is there such resistance to exploring alternative interpretations of these discoveries? Could it be that admitting their true significance would force a reevaluation of human history, one that certain powers would rather avoid? The implications of this cover-up are staggering. If the Anunnaki's presence has been concealed, then humanity has been robbed of its true heritage. The story of who we are, where we come from, and what we're capable of could be vastly different from what we've been taught. Is it possible that the same knowledge that once catapulted the Sumerians into a golden age of advancement has been deliberately withheld, keeping humanity from achieving its full potential? If the Anunnaki's knowledge is still out there, hidden in archives, locked in vaults, or encoded in ancient texts, what would happen if it were finally revealed? Would it lead to an unprecedented era of discovery and progress, or would it expose truths too disruptive for society to handle? The longer we allow these questions to remain unanswered, the more power we hand over to those who seek to keep us in the dark. It's time to ask, who benefits from hiding the truth? And what are they so afraid we'll find? The story of the Anunnaki is not just a tale of ancient myths and distant past. It is a story that forces us to rethink everything we know about human history, innovation, and destiny. From the Sumerians' detailed accounts of celestial beings bringing advanced knowledge to the startling parallels between their described technologies and our modern inventions, the evidence raises profound questions. What if humanity's greatest achievements are not solely the result of human ingenuity, but a legacy passed down from a civilization far beyond our understanding? We've explored the possibility that the Anunnaki shaped the course of humanity, engineering our species, guiding the rise of civilizations, and leaving behind fragments of their advanced knowledge. We've seen how this legacy may be reflected in the work of visionaries like Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, and Thomas Edison, whose inventions seem to echo the descriptions of technologies attributed to the Anunnaki. We've considered the anomalies in our historical record, advanced artifacts, precise astronomical knowledge, and mysterious tools that seem out of place in the timeline of human development. Each of these pieces, when examined together, forms a compelling case for the existence of a profound hidden influence. But the implications of this theory are not confined to the past. If the Anunnaki's knowledge has been preserved, intentionally or accidentally, it could explain the sudden leaps in technological advancement we've seen in the modern era. Are we simply rediscovering their knowledge, unlocking fragments of a blueprint left behind millennia ago? And if so, what else might we uncover? This leads to the most provocative question of all. What does the Anunnaki's influence mean for our future? If their legacy continues to shape our technology, science, and society, are we being prepared for something greater? Or is humanity unknowingly walking a path laid out by ancient architects, one whose purpose remains hidden from us? The suppression of knowledge about the Anunnaki raises further questions. If governments, institutions, or other entities have concealed evidence of their existence, what are they protecting? Is it our collective stability, or is it the power of those who benefit from maintaining the status quo? And what happens if this truth is finally revealed? Would it unite humanity under the shared understanding of a cosmic heritage, or would it fracture our perceptions of reality beyond repair? Ultimately, the story of the Anunnaki challenges us to think beyond the limits of what we've been taught. It pushes us to question the narratives we accept, and to seek answers in the unexplored corners of history, science, and belief. Whether the Anunnaki were real or symbolic, their story reminds us that human history is not as straightforward as it seems. It invites us to wonder, what other truths lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered? So, we leave you with this thought. If the Anunnaki have been guiding us from the shadows of history, what does that mean for our present? More importantly, what does it mean for our future? The answers may be closer than we think, but it's up to us to keep asking the questions.